This war, we're not winning it. If you speak a word of what I'm about to show you, you will be executed for high treason.
It's beautiful. It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all communications.
Everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Let me try, and we'll know for sure.
What was it about Graham Moore's script when you read it, and about Alan Turing's story in general, that made you want to be a part of putting it on the screen?
The first moment I met him, read him in the script, I was intrigued by him. I thought it was such an ingenious introduction to a really complex character, and presented him in all this sort of spectacular brilliance, his oddness, his different nature, his very literal interpretation of language, his pedanticness, and then just slowly this beautiful unfolding of why he was this person that you meet at the beginning of the film, and what he then evolved into. Humour, which was really important for me, the intelligence that was exciting and not dull, just how profound the effect this man's life had on our world, you know, and it just that overall effect of his story after finishing reading the script really hit me and winded me, and I thought, I really want to be a part of this.
I'm afraid these men would only slow me down.
Popular at school, were you?
It's just got so many elements to it. It's a mystery. It's a race against the clock. It's a thriller. It's a love story, both with him and Christopher and with Joan. Strong role for a woman in the shape of Joan, which Keira just knocks out of the park, and great roles throughout the population of Bletchley Park. This sort of disparate group of people that come together as a team and then have all these different agendas, which just sort of implode and come back together and then explode again finally, because they have to disband and forget they ever were there and did whatever they did. I mean, it's extraordinary. A remarkable man, a beautifully constructed story and script. So yeah, kind of utterly irresistible for an actor.
You're going to need all the help you can get, and they are not going to help you if they do not like you.
Our patience has expired.
No!
If you fire Alan, well, then you'll have to fire me.
Me too.
And me.
Better bloody work.
You've worked with several of the people in the cast before, Keira included, but there are some people you hadn't worked with before. And the dynamic with the Hut 8 group is an interesting one, and kind of a fragile relationship that they come together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how did you kind of work on that, in that you knew some of the people before? Did you have to kind of remove yourself sometimes to kind of keep a separation there?
A little bit, actually, a little bit. There were some moments, you know, where he is sort of out on his own a little bit. But we're all good friends and we're actors, so it's not like I had to really kind of... it was fine. It was fine. I could turn it on and off between takes, but it's very helpful when you know actors from previous jobs, because I always try and shake it up and do things different, even if people like to draw using comparisons between smart people I've played. To me, they're utterly different characters. If you really just put them side by side, they are very different. And yet, you know, what I'm saying this for is that I was doing something different than they'd seen me do before, and vice versa. And you have that fluidity of knowledge of one another as friends and as actors to kind of challenge and work through things and discuss things and evolve and inspire one another and push one another. So that's a great starting point. There's none of that kind of slight awkwardness of not knowing the person or how to approach them and talk. You can just be very blatant and honest with friends.
You have 6 minutes to complete the task.
Is that even possible?
No, it takes me 8. 5 minutes and 34 seconds.
You said to do it in under 6. What is it that we're really doing?
We're going to break an unbreakable Nazi code and win the war.
Oh.
When you were digging into Turing's background, and was there anything that surprised you that you hadn't known before?
An awful lot. I mean, you know, the fact that he was put into foster care from birth to 4, and the fact that he was quite how extraordinary his evolution and understanding of love and the soul and gods and anything religious or spiritual was at the death of this boy that he loved. He wrote these profoundly beautiful letters to Christopher Morgan's mum and formed a sort of relationship with her, you know, a pen friendship and relationship. And I think it was probably slightly difficult for Christopher's mum, because Christopher hadn't talked much about him as Alan, you know, with just sort of this outflowing of love that he had for her son. So she sort of got to understand him and his feelings, and it was really beautiful with helping him sort of process that.
Alan, you do not have to do this alone.
What are you doing? What's going on?
The Navy thinks that one of us is a Soviet spy.
You've got more secrets than the best of them.
What if I don't fancy her in that way?
Can't tell anyone, Alan. It's illegal.
When people sort of say in interviews about films, it's about love and communication and stuff, but it really is. The broad themes of this film and of Turing's life are profoundly relevant to all of us. They really are. They're about communication, in love, in war, it's about secrets, it's about revelation, it's about understanding what it is to be human. And like the best heroes, even though he's a very unlikely, unconventional one, an uncompromising one, the best heroes make it better and easier to be human, even with artificial intelligence, even with working in the field of science, which is talking about something that's non-organic or non-human. It's in order to appreciate fully what it is that makes us human that is fascinating about that work and what light he threw on it. And that stuff really still resonates for me. I mean, this is a tip of an iceberg. If this interests people as a subject matter, I beg them to go and read up more about his work and what he achieved in his life. He's an amazing, amazing man.
I'm just a mathematician.
Sometimes it is the people who no one imagines anything of who do the things that no